Welcome. This is the Between Brothers podcast, where we bring you real talk, authentic takes, and laughs on sports, pop culture, and life. I'm your host, Lando, along with my big brother, Zero. Zero, how's up? How's everything? Catch us up.
Yeah, so me and you talked about it uh Friday. Yeah, they try to get me, try to make it so I've already told you about how I hate being double booked on the job. So they did it again. And I went to the first customer. So I was like, you know what? Today they may slide because I don't have a 2 o'clock appointment. So it's like, hey, it is what it is. Let me just go ahead and take care of this. But this is your one freebie. So first one cancels. I don't see the text message because I can't read messages on my phone, or else my camera will go off and tell me to keep my eyes on the road. So I don't even notice that I get a message. I show up. They said, "Oh, why didn't anybody tell you?" It's like they don't tell me anything. So when I go to cancel or go to no show it, one disappears. It's another one sitting there. And I'm thinking the person that I'm talking to was the one that I no show. So then it's like, okay, cool. Took care of that. No problem. So at the end of the day, I get a call asking me, did I take care of a customer? I said, yeah, no show them. They said they didn't want service. To then find out it was the wrong one that I did because one of them disappeared. I thought it was what I thought it was. So they tried to tell me to show up at that customer's house to prove that it's not a scam because because for some odd reason the customer thought that this was a scam. So they said pull up over there, just show your face, let them know there was a misunderstanding, and we'll reschedule. My mind automatically goes to, well, if I show up and let them know that it's me, they're going to, it's like anybody with any sense, at least I would think, will be like, well, since it's like, it's like, my appointment was supposed to be such and such, but since you're here, let's just go ahead and take care of it. Because I'm thinking that would be something that I would do. Instead of showing up and then leaving and then showing up again, just since you're here, just go ahead and do the job. So I said, what do they expect me to do it too? It was like, I asked you at the last house that you showed up to, what do I do after this? Because I didn't have anything else. Because I had a 5 o'clock that disappeared off my stuff. He said, oh, well, I'll block off the rest of your time and you're off of work. So I'm like, I'm about to go get some stuff for the kids. I'm about to go grocery shopping. So what you want me to do is drop everything I'm doing because a lady was skeptical. One thing that happens that we can't do is charge the customer until the job is actually done. So I don't know where the scam stuff came from, but I was like, oh, so they think they slick. They want me to show up. Like they want me to show up. It's like, oh, show up with your van. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not. It's like I'm already at the store. My objective now is to get groceries and then head back to the house with the groceries. My don't change. It's like don't change the objective in the middle of the mission. Stop double booking me at this situation because if I only had her as my 1 o'clock, I would have just went straight to her. But nah, everyone wants to play around, so it's like it is what it is. It's like they get upset at me, whatever, because the fact that you keep the because what I've learned is that the people who sell the jobs see that a time is already booked. So that time slot is not available anymore. and they always seem to find a way to override it, book me for the same exact time, and then sit here and act like, oh, well, I didn't see it. Like, I'm not trying to hear none of that nonsense. I've said if I get double booked, one of them ain't getting done. It just so happened both of them didn't get done. It's like so. It's like if you wanted to get that stuff done, um, OM, go ahead and take care of it because I keep telling you that I'm getting sick and tired of being booked double booked for the same time because this type of thing may happen. It's like, okay, now you understand. And they understand even fully that, okay, he didn't go over there. It's like, it is what it is. Stop double booking me. And this type of situation doesn't happen. They try to get somebody to, when they got home, to call them and say, hey, a customer just got booked. Can you leave out? Can you leave home and then go and do the job? Like, y'all stupid. It's like I already wound down. I got out of my work uniform, took a shower, put some fresh clothes on. You think I'm just gonna put that shit right back on and drive out to it? No, we're not on call. But it is what it is. That's other than that, that's about it. That's the thing that pissed me off the entire day.
Yeah, that's I don't know. I don't know how your job manages to do that. My job, we can't. It's impossible to double book. It's like it's two. Even if two people put a time slot in at the same exact time, it'll kick it out. Like it'll bounce it
Mm.
back. So I don't know how that happens at your job.
No,
Oh, so
they know how
frustrating.
to override it because and they, like I said, it's always the same thing. It's a, oh, I didn't see it. Yes, you did. Because when you put it, so you mean to tell me y'all simultaneously booked this 1 to 3 exactly at the same time, huh? If you really expect me to believe that shit, like, I don't know who the fuck you trying to fool, but it damn sure ain't me. And I don't know who you think is gonna go back over there. You better find somebody else to do that shit. It's like, how about you reschedule her and then I can take care of it on Monday instead of me going over. You say go over there, show your face, and then I'll reschedule it. I don't know how. It's like, you must think I'm dumb. Like, nah, I'm good. I'll finish getting my groceries and go back to the house and relax.
Yeah, I'm with it. Thankfully, that's this job that I had, his first job. No, I shouldn't say that. Um, no, actually, not thinking about it. Since I stopped selling cars, I haven't experienced a job where somebody will call you back to do something. Um, so yeah, so that's a shoot. That's like right there. How long did I stop selling cars? I think when we started around the time we started the podcast. So I stopped selling cars not too long after. But anyways, my week was my week was fine. Um, I was thinking about something, and I want to ask the world if this was something that happened in their house. Okay, so when I was a young boy, there was a time where sometimes I would have a lapse of judgment. I would go to our mother and say, "Mommy, I'm bored." My mother never liked him. So if we said, "Mommy, I'm bored," she would say, "If you're bored, go read a book." Now, me, I was somebody who enjoyed reading. But clearly, I wasn't in a reading mood if I wanted, if I come to her and say, I'm bored. So, so the option is, I just want to know if everybody got the option, if everybody had an option. You can either find something else to do or go read the book. Didn't go quite that way for us. If you came and said, Mommy, I'm bored. If you're bored, go read a book. And she heard you, or you mentioned you would go find something else to do that did not involve reading the book.
Oh,
No.
hell no.
No. What do you mean by playing with toys?
You could have
Oh,
did that without walking up to me.
so now you got to read a book. You ain't gonna read any book. You gonna read the Encyclopedia Britannica, boys. I don't even know how our mother got that. None of us are old enough to understand what the hell was going on in those encyclopedias. But I used to read them. I learned so much nonsense, unnecessary information by reading those encyclopedias. And there was one thing she said we couldn't write on them. I guess because she didn't want to buy the rolls to refill them. But it had arithmetic, regular math, and like some reading stuff you can fill out. I don't even know what they were called, but there was a big gray thing you turn the dial and you can go through it. So like I think I was like 8 years old and I was looking at the arithmetic thing. And I'm like, this looks like math because it's pluses and minuses, but there's letters. And so again, I don't know why our mother purchased this thing, spent hundreds of dollars on this thing. No,
Yeah,
actually, I
didn't
don't
you?
even think it was that expensive. I think it was like regular price, like $400, but you can get it today for $59.95 or something like that. I think it
Yeah,
was one of
plus
those
shipping and handling.
situations.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
yeah, I remember. I remember trying to open one, and
yeah. No, it was the globe. You try to open the globe, you cut your finger open with a box cutter.
no, it wasn't the Globe. It was an encyclopedia. It got stuck in the encyclopedia, but yeah, it got stuck in the encyclopedia. And when I pulled against it, it cut my hand. Um, So my mother was pissed because she spent a whole bunch of money. Our mother was pissed because she spent a whole bunch of money on this thing, and now it was damaged. And then I'm also hurt because it wasn't anything like I knew what was going on. So when she was like, "Yeah, no business opening it or whatever," but I was excited because I liked reading. But when I started reading those encyclopedias, not knowing 99% of them words I was in there well, I think I was younger than that when we got the encyclopedias. I think it was when we came back from St. Vincent, not too long after that when we got the encyclopedias. But I just want to know if your kids come up to you and say that they're bored, what do you say to them? And if like let's say your kids can't read, what do you say to them then? Like if you kid, because we could read. So my mother, of course, said that I don't remember a time. I don't remember a time in my life where I couldn't read. That may be the case for other people, but I've been blessed to have the ability to read at the age of 2 years old. So I don't remember a time in my life where I didn't know how to read. While my kids didn't learn how to read till like truly like read a book on their own till 3, 4, 5 years old. So, and not that I'm superiorly smart or anything like that compared to them. It's just, we had a stay at home mom who could sit down and teach us. They didn't, my children don't have that luxury. So, or let me rephrase that. My ex wife actually was a stay at home mom. She just didn't do it. But, but It's just one of those things. I'm like, I wonder what people are saying now. Like, are you just sticking the tablet in their face? Like, okay, if you bored, get on the tablet. Like, because we always like people nowadays, they make it seem like the tablets are the worst thing in the world. And I'm like, no, like I remember a time where if like I don't remember playing with our mother all the time. Like Coco Puff expect me to play with her all day, every day. But there's times where she would say, go watch something on TV, go read a book, go play with your toys so she could have like time to herself. So people make it seem like, oh, these kids are in front of these screens. I'm like, nah, I remember watching, matter of fact, the screens back in the day, you said you turned it off, had a barrier of invisible fuzz on the bitches. Yeah. And they burned your eyes. Tablets are way safer now than the TVs back in the day. And then I'm like, I'm not saying it's a good thing either. I'm just saying our parents use distracting things on us, and I'm sure their parents use distraction things on them. Like some people be like, oh, like our parents wanted us to be out the house all day. That wasn't necessarily the case in our cases. We lived in a fairly violent neighborhood, but at the same time, our mother wasn't playing with us all day. So y'all let me know. What if your kids come up to you and say that they're bored? Do you tell them? What do you tell them that you do? And do you let them choose what to do after you told them what to do? Like, man, you know what? Spider-Man, Spider-Man and Batman feel real fun all of a sudden. Nah, they not. They wasn't fun 5 seconds ago, so they're not gonna be fun now. Go ahead and pull out that Encyclopedia Britannica and read book 3, A AR to AZ. Oh man. Anyways, let's get to these topics, man. So speaking about childhood, came across a clip from the lovely podcast, Joe Budden podcast. I don't watch the podcast or listen to it, but sometimes they say have some intriguing things that they put on their show. So Jadakiss was on the show, and his father was like, he didn't understand why Jadakiss was talking like all this stuff about, being in the hood and this and the other. And he said, like he went to a private school, and he had two parents at home, which I don't remember Jadakiss ever rapping about not having his parents. So I'm not gonna act like I'm a hip hop. Zero's a far bigger hip hop head than I am. Actually, matter of fact, everyone who's been on this podcast, maybe outside of John, is a bigger hip hop head than me. So, with that being said, I'm not gonna act like I know all of Jada's pieces. But I've been seeing a lot of people in the comments, and then even one of our friends who's been on the podcast before, Spy, he mentioned to Zero, like, yo, how is he rapping like that when he went to private school? And I'm like, yo, I'm glad we have a podcast. Because Jadakiss said something. And he was like, yeah, I went to private school. We were still in the hood. The father never said that he didn't grow up in a dangerous neighborhood. His father never said that he didn't grow up around prostitution, violence,
drug dealers.
drug dealers. He never mentioned that. He just said he went to a private school. So I think the father said that because it's like, yo, we gave him the best life we could have given. So when he raps about this hard life, he didn't live a hard life. But it's just like, no, he did live a hard life. He might have had an easier life than some of the people who lived in his building, Or I don't know if he lived in the building, but I'm assuming just because he's from New York, he lived in the building.
Because
Or
the brownstones is hard to come by. Even though it's Yonkers, it's like I don't
I don't know
still.
nothing about Yonkers, so I don't even think I've ever been there. But
No, we stopped at Yonkers before. We never got off the train at Yonkers.
oh, okay. So yeah, so I'm like, and so everybody's like, oh, first of all, I don't know how many of y'all believe that most of these rappers live in what they're rapping. Like, to be honest, the rappers today probably live what they rap more than the rappers from before, because they believe that the rappers from our generation was living that life, so they wanted to mimic it. So it's probably more believable that the rappers today live in the life than the rappers back then. But we are two people who grew up in a one bedroom, roach and rodent infested apartment. 6 people in a one bedroom apartment who grew up around violence, drug dealers, guns, no prostitution. I don't think I ever saw that in our neighborhood.
No,
But
it wasn't. It was more like a Flatlands Avenue, all the way over there by Canarsie.
but like violence, things of that nature. Like, we grew up around that. We also went to a school, St. Jerome, called St. Jerome. It's closed down. Catholic school. Our mother wasn't a Catholic, and our father, for those listening to us for the first time, was also a gambling addict. So we didn't have money. Well, my mother made sure he paid 2 things. Sometimes we didn't have gas for a few days, uh, electricity for maybe a day or so. Sometimes we went without. We never really went without food, though. But she made sure he paid 2 things: rent, private school.
Yeah, rent and tuition.
Rent and tuition. And people, first of all, and this is coming from somebody who went to private school. Guess what? At private school, you still get bullied. There's still just because we wore uniforms, don't mean you didn't get picked on. You might not got picked on for what clothes you're wearing, and actually that's not necessarily true, because some people had raggedy uniforms. Some people came to school with a hole split down the middle of their pants.
Yo, shout out Joe Sway. That dude went half the year with that split, and not even just half the year, most of the winter with
See,
that split. Yeah, my man had the thigh reveal.
bruh,
Yeah, and nobody cared.
nobody offered to stitch some joints up for them. And that's the thing. So, because you also had to buy the uniforms, and it was a yellow shirt, red sweater, and dark blue pants.
The yellow shirt or a white shirt? I thought
It
yellow
was it
was
was
PS three
yellowish.
ninety eight.
It was yellowish. I don't remember wearing. I didn't go to PS3 98 for long. I don't remember wearing a uniform
Now
though.
I think the kindergartners had to wear the yellow and navy blue, and then when you got into the building, like first and second grade, yeah, like first grade on, you got to wear what you wanted, but kindergarten had to wear a uniform.
I didn't wear it.
Yeah, I remember I had to. Was it kinder? No, my fault. When I was in first grade, I had to wear a uniform because I remember.
Um, but yeah, we was out here looking like a Colombian flag, and the girls had like a plaid skirt. like a dark blue plaid skirt, same sweater,
past the knees.
and they had to wear stockings, of course.
Yeah,
But like,
you had them damn hard bottoms.
oh yeah, you had to have black shoes. So like, and tuition was $100 per child. I don't know how our mother was able to get it because there was I remember one time going to the principal's office and they were saying like because she was paying $400 a month and she was like, oh well, we've been giving you a discount because you're supposed to be paying more for the older kids. And she's like, nah, that you trying to change that up. My mother used to debo people a lot, yo. Like she used to just tell people like, I'm not doing it. Don't care. I understand you got a policy. I'm just not a part of it. Like she used to really like strong on that school. So um so yeah, so it was one of those things where like our parents made the sacrifice so we could not go to one of the worst schools in the city. And it sounds like Jadakiss's parents made that same sacrifice. That doesn't mean he ain't like nobody thought Jadakiss wasn't a hood dude until now. Dude been rapping for 30 years.
Now he grew his hair out, and Fat Joe talking about being a serial glizzy eater, and now all of a sudden they tested his gangster.
Y'all was sitting there saying Jadakiss represented the hood when they went up against Dipset in the verses. Like that's what New York is.
Now all
sudden
of a sudden
he ain't New York no more, or at least he ain't hood no more. And it's just like, no, like, yo, there is a life where, like, I want to give this example, then I'll let Zero go. I want y'all to understand this. Let's say your kid went to daycare. Your kid went to daycare, right? And daycare costs $500 a month. I know that's not what daycare costs. I'm just saying. Daycare costs $500 a month. And then you live in a neighborhood where the school isn't a very good school. So you can either save your $500 and send your kid to a bad school that's failing all their tests and everything like that, and hope that your kid is the cream of the crop and can overcome all that. Or the private school that's 5 miles away, that some private schools have transportation, some don't. Let's say they don't have transportation. Private school that's 5 miles away costs $500. You've already been making a sacrifice. So just you might just keep making the sacrifice. And some parents do that for their kids. This isn't news. Now I understand where the ideology is only rich kid goes to private school. But we've also seen TV shows where there's a poor kid that goes to the private school and they get picked on for it. So yeah, that means that poor kids go to private school too.
So look at that affirmative action, kid.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I need y'all to understand that just because you went to a private school, and I'm not saying it so we can look more hood. I can give two craps on looking hood. I'm 37. I have 3 kids that are biologically mine and raising 2 other children. And I got a wife and I got a house. I can care less what you think about me and how gangsta I am.
I'm saying the only hood I'm from, the only hood you're gonna know about me is the hoodie I throw on when it's chilly outside.
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, if you want, at the end of the day, I'm also a protector. So if you want to come across that line, I'm down for it. But I'm not looking for trouble either. And I've been like that. We've been like that our whole lives. Our mother never raised us to be like people troublemakers. She's trouble solvers maybe, but not troublemakers. So like that's where I want people to understand. You can be in the hood and still go to a private school because your parents made the sacrifice. There's people with good jobs that live in the hood too. There's garbage men that live in the hood. There's maintenance men that live in the hood and they get paid good money. There's mailmen that live in the hood that get paid good money. So it's not like everybody in the hood has this destitute job where they're working 4 jobs to make ends meet. Not everybody who lives in a ghetto neighborhood is like that. So relax on that. And this is when I realized, like the only people who don't understand are either people whose parents never made the sacrifice or people who ain't from the hood. Just because, and then also, just because you're from the hood don't mean you're doing hood stuff. And an example of that, Cuba Gooding Jr. and Boys in the Hood, and Morris Chestnut and Boys in the Hood. Neither one of them was doing hood stuff. Zero. Give it to me. What you thinking?
Like, shout out to Spa. When he told me about it, and we were talking, yeah, when he told me about it, I was like, nobody know what he had to go through after school, during school, before school. I was like, there's two things you got to understand. Just because you go to public school don't make you hard, and just because you go to private school don't make you soft. It's like, he's like, damn, he went to. It's like he went to private schools. It's like it's like he was eating the good meals. It's like in public school they had us eating. They had us eating. They had us eating. What's it called? Spaghettios. They didn't even microwave. They just dumped it out of the can and put it on our bowl. Put it in our trays and had us drinking milk. Like yeah, yeah. It's like just because he went there doesn't make him any less hood than and like you said, it's always the folks that haven't experienced it that don't necessarily know. So they just automatically think, yo, you go. They automatically think every public school is fucking lean on me. It's like every school in New York is lean on me. It's like got
Facts.
yeah,
Facts. I promise you, there's a
and
lot
every
more schools that ain't like that.
yo, and every public school is what's it called? No, and every private school is look like fucking Harvard. It ain't no. What's it called? Like we went to
Like, yo,
when
we
we went
don't
to
live
St. Jerome.
in it ain't
Yo,
boarding school.
yeah, it's like we went. Yeah, you're not getting room and board. It made it sound like that nigga went to military school or something. He was, and what's it called? And he was gone for months on end. It's like, nah, that nigga still had to. That nigga still probably still had to catch public transportation with everybody else. He had to go on a. He had to go on a school tripper route. Like, it's like every. It's like what's it called? When we went to St. Jerome, St. Jerome was just a building in the middle of a was just a school in the middle of a bunch of fucking buildings. It looked like it didn't stick out. It didn't stick out like any other building except it says St. Jerome on the front of that bitch with a church next door. It was like it wasn't anything special. It wasn't it was like the teachers were trash. It was like the teachers was trash. The students weren't any better. It was like paying. It's like those same kids you went to that private school with was the same kids that were probably trying to pick a fight with you after school. The same way they would do it in public. It's like
Yeah.
there's nothing there's nothing different except for public school. You didn't have to pay to go
Yeah.
there.
And it's funny because there was kids who were trouble, and there's kids who were trouble in every school.
That's how it goes. It's like
It's school. It's humans.
nobody's absolved of being a troublemaker in school, regardless of the school you go to. Somebody's going to be the class clown. Somebody's going to be the class bully. It's going to every school has the same shits.
Yes.
There, nothing changes. The demographic doesn't change.
There's dudes I know who barely graduated high school, but they managed to get some kind of funding for college and went to college and flunked out because they weren't about that college life. But again, it's because they were probably a lot of them were hood as hell. They still went to college, you know what I'm saying? And for whatever reason, however they got in there, they got in there. But I mean, it's one of those. It's so funny just because, and I'm glad we have this lived experience like Jadakiss has, because like I said, nobody noticed when he said we were still in the hood, and his father didn't deny that. Nobody wanted to acknowledge that. They just wanted Jadakiss to be fake.
My problem
this
is,
isn't Tarantino.
yo, my problem is this. Why did his father feel the need to say this shit?
I know why he felt the need to say that. Because imagine your son getting extra famous for talking about something, and you're like, and because he had a lived experience that was an experience of poverty, I can see where he would be like, yo, we gave you everything. We even put you in private school. We put you in college. Why are you telling people this stuff? Why is this the story you chose to tell? Why none of your raps about how good of a father I was, how good of a mother you had, how your parents did everything? Now again, I don't know. I don't listen to Jadakiss like that. I don't know if he had songs like that, but I can understand that. Like some some people be like, I remember there was one lady. I saw a video of this one lady. She was like, "Yo, I heard your song. Who the f? Who the f did that to you?" Oh yeah, I was like he was like he never said Jadakiss was lying about anything. He just said he went to a private school. So it's like, yeah, like I understand where the father was coming from. I guarantee you, if I ever heard like where Michael Irvin, like it's like, well, why did Michael Irvin feel the need to say something about his son? We joked about that.
Mm-hmm.
We found that hilarious. You know, and it was just like, yo, he he he's rapping about something he has no business, and he's like, Michael Irvin's like, you rapping about my life. You telling my story through hip hop. You ain't telling others. You ain't telling your story. You grew up in a 20,000 square foot house, and bro was like, man, it wasn't even 20. That was his rebuttal. We know Michael Irvin was rich. Like, stop it. We know Michael Irvin is still rich. Stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, stop playing with us, dog. Oh, it wasn't 20,000. It was only, like, he ain't say that, but it's like, man, it was only 15. Like, bro, all I know is you lived in a bigger house than 99% of America, bro. Even if it was 5,000 square feet, 4,000 square feet, most Americans ain't living in the house in 2,000 square feet. Most Americans ain't living in. So relax, dog. So it's just like, so I understand where the father is coming from, where it's like, yo, like, why is this the story you want to tell? And then again, his father never came out with this until now. Like, you know, like I said, bro, not rapping no more. He's not making like new music and stuff like that. Like, you know, putting out album after album after album. He's not doing what he did in his younger years. So it's just like, and then also people who grew up with Jadakiss, if Jadakiss was not hood, people would have been said something about him. So again, it's not, and again, who cares about I promise y'all, man, that ain't the flex y'all think it is. Being from the hood, man. Like y'all people who ain't from the hood, and I know some people use being from the hood as intimidation for people who ain't from the hood. It is not the flex y'all think it is.
Count your blessings.
Bro, oh yeah, man, I lived in poverty. You think I liked like you think I like being like I lived in a 1 bedroom apartment with 6 people where there was no matter how much my mother cleaned, roaches never stopped coming. Mother's the cleanest person I ever known in my whole life. Roaches never stopped. The only reason why we stopped having mice is because we got cats. And it really didn't stop them. It just the frequency was significantly less. Or
Yeah,
if we found them, the cat already killed it.
it was like a once in a blue moon after we got the
You know what I'm
cats.
saying? So it's just like it's not the experience y'all think it is. It's not a pleasant experience. Again, that doesn't mean you shouldn't count your blessings, like Zero just said, where it's like, yo, I'm glad I survived that. Or I'm glad I didn't live in a third world country where poverty looks significantly worse than what I grew up in. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I'm with it. Like I'm with it, but it's just like, yo, we two people grew up in the ghetto too and went to private school and went to public school. I got more fights in private school than I did in public school. So y'all stop hating on Jada, man. Y'all stop hating on Jada.
And start talking about Fat Joe because this nigga got lies for days.
That that's for another podcast, man. That dude, I don't understand it. So speaking about haters, let's jump to sports. Paul Finebaum, hater of the year. He's never spoken well about Cam Newton since as far as I can remember. But I feel like at this point he's making stuff up about Cam Newton. Because where did this Urban Meyer story come from? And why wasn't this happening around draft time? Cam Newton retired from the league. Why is only now this coming out? It's not like there weren't negative reports coming out about Cam Newton when he was in college. You see, like before he got drafted. So now all of a sudden he's the worst. Urban Meyer say he's the worst. Dude had a murderer on his team, and Cam Newton is the worst.
Yep, Cam Newton is the worst. Literally, he's like, so a laptop overtakes a dude who got bodies on him. Okay.
Well, I don't know if he had bodies on him when he was in college, but he was a known gang member when he was in college. Dude really threw $40 million away to be a thug. That gotta be the dumbest. Anyway, this ain't about Hernandez. This is about Cam. Zero, talk to me. What's up with Paul Finebaum?
All right, so the segment that I saw, Paul Finebaum just said that he spoke to Urban Meyer, and Urban Meyer had said that Cam Newton was the worst player he ever had. He said he went to he said he kicked him off the team. he said that he had went to what was that? I think it was like Blinn College. Well, he did. That was the junior college he went to, and then he said, and his only year at Auburn, where they won their national championship, that Gene Chizik wanted Cam to take a knee, but then he decided selfishly to try to sneak it in to the end zone, almost fumbled the ball, but they kicked the field goal to win the national championship. So he was basically saying that Urban Meyer and Gene Chizik had nothing good to say about Cam. And then Cam, he was like, he said, when I was a player, I would have a completely different response, but the two of us are in the media now. So he was like, he was transferring, he was going to transfer anyway. Yeah, this is coming out of Cam's mouth. He said he was going to transfer anyway he um because he was going to be sitting behind Tim Tebow. So he said in the 1 year that he did at Auburn was better than what what's his name, Tim Tebow did in the 4 years that he was at Florida. Um he said him stealing the laptop got him dismissed from school, but he didn't get kicked off the team because of it. He was going to transfer. He got dismissed from the school because of the stolen laptop. He said with the sneak, he went to the huddle and his teammates wanted him to try to sneak the ball in and score the touchdown. He said basically it was going to be the equivalent of the tush push. It didn't work. And they ended up he was like he wasn't gonna fumble or anything, but they ended up kicking the field goal and they still ended up winning the game. He was like the fact that, and he said Paul Finebaum is to college football as what's his name Woj is to covering the NBA. And I forgot who he said it was, like covering the NFL. He said when it comes to him covering um college football, he's on that type of level. But he missed completely on this. And I have no clue why the hell. And I would love to figure out why Cam even became a topic of discussion in this situation. And of all the people that like you said, of all the people that I would listen to, you think I'm gonna listen to Urban Meyer?
Urban lap dance Meyer.
A dude who didn't travel with his team so he can get dry humped.
So
So
with khakis on.
getting dry humped with khakis is crazy.
And as a married man at that.
Oh my goodness.
So
In an age where
my,
everybody carries their phones and if they recognize you, they gonna record your
he's one of the most
ass.
recognizable faces in the state of Ohio.
And he thought it was a good idea.
You know, this is similar to like I don't know what the deal is with Feinbaum and just the negative reporting he's done that he did. But my thing is, as a reporter, why is it not your responsibility to try to get the truth? Why is it that Urban Meyer's word was gospel and Kim got no courtesy? Like, why is it that you were like, yo, like, really, you feel that way? And because he spoke to everybody but Cam Newton about Cam Newton. And it's like, okay, that's strange. And Gene Chiswick. I don't know who he is. Has he had success? Did he has did he what, how many national championships Gene Chiswick got?
He only has one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
He
the
has
one with
one.
Cam.
He has the one with Cam. All
Mhm.
right. How often has Auburn been a powerhouse team?
Oh, they play for national championship twice.
Ever?
Yeah, once with Cam, and it was another year. I think they lost. Yeah, they lost to Florida State. Jameis Winston.
Okay.
I think
So
it's like.
Auburn isn't this blue collar.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Okay. Cam Newton. Cam Newton took a team that nobody knew of, or I shouldn't say nobody knew of, but nobody was checking for to win a national championship, won a national championship. He's taken a team to a Super Bowl, and people are still trying to make it seem like this guy is a horrible teammate. And it's usually not teammates that are saying this about him. It's media people and Urban Meyer. Ur- Urban Meyer. I want y'all to understand who y'all talking about. The same guy who covered up one of his coaches for beating the crap out of his wife when the wife went to Urban about it.
Mm-hmm.
That guy.
That
But
guy.
we don't want to talk about that, right? We don't want to talk
Yeah, I
about that.
think there's a documentary about how dysfunctional that entire Florida program was. Not even just
Yeah,
Hernandez, the
yeah.
entire thing. But we're gonna listen to him though.
That's what we listening to. That's what's popping in the streets.
That's what's really hood.
This is the guy that's the most credible person in the world. Because Cam Newton stole a laptop. He ain't credible. This guy, this guy was winning. He was winning national championships. He did a great job at winning football games. That doesn't mean he's the Messiah. He did a great job of recruiting players to win football games.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, didn't Maurice Claret play for him?
Yeah. Wait, no, 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 no. No, he didn't.
That was before him.
Yeah, Claret was before him.
Okay.
I think he was at Utah at the time.
Okay. So I'm like, this dude, the Jaguars didn't like him.
I still don't know what he got paid.
We
That's like
still don't know what his check was to this day.
yeah, yeah. You heard an estimate what he could make. Yeah, they gave that nigga a blank check and said, "Do what you want." Then
And
12 weeks
because of how
later,
coaches get paid in pro sports, he was able to get fired and still collect his check
mm-hmm,
and retire because he retired from college football or he left college football because there were scandals around him.
mm-hmm.
That's the
Yeah,
guy that we're
yeah,
saying.
yeah. The guy, every time something happens, he has a health concern, and then he retires from college football to then come back when everything cools down.
Hmm,
That's the
hmm.
guy that you want to listen to. All right. So at Utah, Florida, and Ohio State, he had health concerns. And then he retired. And then a year or two later, here he comes. I'm ready to work again.
I remember when the Jaguars hired Urban Meyer. And my thing is this. Like, if you haven't had success where your players go from under you, because he was supposed to be an offensive minded coach. So when your offensive players leave you and go to the NFL and don't do good, I don't think you're going to be a good college coach. Because you didn't prepare them for the league. You just kept it, you ran your system your way for you to win games, and you didn't care about those kids getting to the next level. So so when the Jaguars hired him, I'm like, that's the worst thing they could have done. That was the worst thing they could do to Sunshine. And now the kid's so traumatized, he ain't never going to be the player. He might not never be the player that he should have been. I just want to
Shoot.
say, Paul Feinbaum, I'm not going to disrespect him and say he's a horrible reporter or anything like that. I think he has his sources. I think he knows what he's doing. I'm just saying you should do your due diligence and at least try to get Cam Newton side. But when you have an agenda, Cam side is never going to matter
Yeah.
because these guys are your friends because they gave you stories. And the players ain't your friend because they didn't give you stories. And Cam Newton should have got a text or something. Hey, because like I said, I've heard, I've heard people say, like, as far as talent's concerned, and there was I forget the guy's name, but he was a quarterbacks coach. He got quarterbacks ready for the combine. And he was like, "Can't." They were like, and he was on Cowherd's show, and he was like, "Hey, who's the best guy? Like, you had Andrew Luck, you had this guy, you had that guy, and Cowherd was huge on Andrew Luck, and he was like, you know what? You're not gonna like who I have to say because you're not a really big fan of his. The best player I've ever coached is Cam Newton. He was like, as far as just talent, skills, everything you want in a quarterback, it's far and away him.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you don't really even the players when he said it was like a losing culture when he got to Carolina and some of the players took offense to that. No, they never said he was a bad teammate. And also, y'all were the first overall pick. Of course you in a losing culture. What y'all mad for? Just like when some of the players got mad about Jordan saying, no, I think it was a Horace Grant saying that Jordan was a snitch, even though he said no names on who was doing dope on the team. He's like, Michael Jordan's a snitch. You could tell he ain't from the hood because he don't know what snitching is. And then, speaking of people who ain't from the hood, and it's like, oh, why would you tell that people was smoking dope? What? What? What are we talking about right now? That was a known thing in the NBA. Matter of fact, it's assumed that everybody was on
Exactly.
it. Matter of fact, Gilbert Arenas tried to say the reason why Jordan was so much better than everybody else is because everybody but him was on it.
They couldn't keep up. They had a bump before the game.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, how are we getting to this point where it's like, how could you say that about us? What do you mean? It's the truth.
And my thing is,
If you didn't want nobody saying that you smoke crack, you smoke crack, don't you? Then you don't smoke crack. No one would say that about you.
and my thing is, Horace, if you ain't one of those people, shut the fuck up.
Bruh. Horace was on some other stuff, man. Horace and Scotty was on some other stuff, man.
No, I want my credit for the first three, Pete.
But yeah, shout out to Cam, man. Cam's one of my 5 favorite quarterbacks of all time, so you ain't gonna hear me say much bad about him. My only criticism is Um, he didn't let his body heal.
Mm.
That's my only criticism. After he started, when the injury started piling up, he should have let his body heal. But I think because people were always trying to push him out, he didn't think he had that luxury. I would love to ask Cam Newton about it, or love to see him address it. I might be wrong. Maybe he did feel like his body was healed, but shout out to Cam Newton. Anyways, I'm just getting late. Okay, so I don't want to talk about that clown no more. It's a goof. He might be my partner shot. So Donald Trump gets on. Somebody asked him about the Epstein files, in which he ran on, saying he was going to expose the whole thing. There was Trumpers saying that he was going to expose the pedophiles. He was going to expose the predators. He was going to lock them all up. The biggest known predator in modern history, Jeffrey Epstein. Yo, what the heck is up with these Jeffreys? I just thought about it. I'm like Jeffrey Epstein, Jeffrey Dahmer, like what's up with Jeffs? But anyways,
What's up with Jay's? Because Jared from Subway.
oh yeah,
Yeah, he was trying to fit a lot of kids into his pants.
that's insane. First of all, if you eat the same thing every day, you gotta be a
That
predator.
serial killer.
you got you gotta be a predator or a serial killer. Every day, daily,
I ate the same.
nonstop,
I
two
ate the.
Subway sandwiches with no cheese. You said hold the cheese. You said no cheese. Predator.
What the fuck is the cheese?
You gotta be a predator.
There's something going on in your head when you get no cheese, no mayo.
Bro,
Yeah,
I already said
you eat
I said on Facebook, if you know anybody who ordered a hero and say hold the mayo, he steal from his mother, man. He steals from his mother. Hold the mayo.
You know what I'm saying? It's like hold the mayo. Let me get
You paying for
vinegar.
this with your mom's purse
Yeah,
money.
yeah, let me get vinaigrette instead.
Bro, you get oil and vinegar and say hold the mayo? That your mom's purse strings need to tighten up. He stole it from his mother. That's his mother's change purse. He paying for that hero with.
It's like I don't know why I'm always $2 short on the rent.
Need that hero, ma. Need that hero. You say hold the mayo, yeah, you steal from your mother. You say hold the cheese, predator. You say hold the cheese and you order the same two sandwiches? The same two sandwiches daily? Yeah, because I think that was his diet. He ate two. Look, I'm somebody when I was losing weight, I ate Chipotle a lot. I didn't eat Chipotle every day though. Like I just started eating like stuff that was like that wasn't just fast food. So I eat Chinese food. I'll have like Mission Barbecue every once in a while. Like it had to be like real food. But I ate Chipotle a lot. But it was no daily thing. You said this is how I'm gonna lose weight. I'm gonna eat the same exact two Subway sandwiches and no cheese.
Every at some point the cashier and the person preparing your sandwich is like, yeah, he's been coming inside here too often. After three
Bro,
months, of seeing you twice a day, I'm asking
bro,
for a
that don't make
transfer.
sense.
I'm asking for a transfer because he's scoping the place.
Scope. That's probably where he picked up his prey. Was at the Subway. When
He's like,
somebody said, "Why don't you eat
no.
cheese?" Well, let me tell you a story.
He sat at the same booth too. He's like, he made sure his back wasn't toward the door. Same booth.
Yo,
Every time somebody young walked in, he took a bite.
I just remember the first time we saw him, we said, making fun of him, he was a predator, not knowing anything about his alternative lifestyle. The first time we saw him on TV, we were making fun of him saying he looked like he touched kids. And then that kid, I'm like, yo, I've never made a prediction that good in my life. I said OKC was going to win the finals before the season. I said SGA was going to be an MVP winner and an MVP candidate before anybody thought of him as such. I said the Warriors were going to win the championship the year everybody counted them out. I said all kinds of really good predictions. That we did. Anyways, we were talking about Jeffrey Epstein. So Donald Trump come out, and somebody asked him, he's like, "Why we've been talking about this for years? Why are you still on this? What do you mean? You just said last year, well, he's been in office 6 months, 7 months, 6 months. You said 9 months ago you was gonna do this. What do you mean shut up about it?"
No, he saw his name on that list.
When son Elon won the war. Everybody was like, "Oh, look, Elon got in his place." But now, ever since Elon put that out, Trump don't want to have nothing to do with that list coming out. I guess the pedos know my name.
they gonna pass in our subpoenas. I guess the pedos know my name. Get locked up, they touch my penis. Take this pillow right here.
Yo, he gonna turn to a full-blown pillow bite. That's insane, man. So I'm like, look, I done beat every other case. I can't keep beating. I can't. That's one case I ain't never tuck them files away.
The moment they if he actually revealed them and his name was up there, he gonna be Richard Nixon, throw them deuces up.
Oh, for real. For real.
He's like, my name's on it. Don't impeach me.
Because he was sitting there saying, like, oh yeah, there's a bunch of Democrats on that. And it's like, oh, okay. This is it. And the crazy thing is, the people I've seen who've been like such heavy Trump supporters and like, very right wing, they just keeping it on the hush. I ain't seen no videos. No, the people I know who supported Trump, they ain't hit me with nothing. They ain't said a peep about it. People I know and love that support Trump, I haven't heard. Me, I don't care. I think all of it is entertainment. And I'm not saying, like, the people don't get you like, oh, is kids getting raped funny to you? No, it's not. What I'm saying is Trump is entertainment. Trump is only being an entertainer. He's not leading the country, in my opinion. And so it's all funny to me because there's people who really rode hard for him and Biden. And it's like, these are two grumpy old men. They're the grumpy old men. This is entertainment to me. This is a movie. But y'all treat this dude like he's a messiah. It's rough, man. Like it's crazy because and he was championing like that. Like, yeah, man, I'm about to spoon to the phone. Yeah, watch what I do. I'm gonna do what nobody else ever could do. And then when it came time to practice what you preach, he's like, "Yo, what fouls? Well, I don't even know what a file is. I don't even know how to spell file. Who's Jeffrey Epstein? He's not even real. He's not even real.
You have pictures with him. It's like that's fake news. That was
That was
doctored.
photoshopped.
That was doctored. I don't know. It's like doctored from who? It's like it doesn't matter. It's like why do you want to
Dr.
know?
Kevorkian. This don't make no ever loving sense, man. How do you run on something and when somebody asks you about it, you like, yo, shut the F up.
It's like, who the fuck gave him a mic?
Yo, that's how he handles something. Why are
like,
you even talking about that? We've been talking about this guy for years. He's dead. He's dead. Why you keep bringing him up? Well, sir, you said you was going to expose everybody who was on that list. Yeah, but I'm on the list. Why you think I'm about to expose me?
Yo,
I already told you.
Yo, he's going to be the only name redacted.
Trump's not a predator. I'm not saying again. This could very well be. We said it before. The Epstein thing could very well be. People were on this island for whatever reasons. He was a lobbyist. He could have been, especially he dealt with a lot of politicians. Just because people built on the island don't mean they were doing sexual predator stuff. Just like the Diddy trial. Like when we heard there's going to be a whole lot of witnesses and stuff for the Diddy trial and famous people, because Attorney Bugsby said it, and now all of a sudden he's vanished off the face of the earth ever since Jay-Z shut him down. No, he didn't vanish off the face of the earth. Shannon Sharp found a way to bring him back from the dead. But then it's like, oh, okay. Huh. It's just nothing's gonna, like, we still waiting. Like, this should have been the easy thing. Now I get where Trump is coming from, like, oh bro, man, I'm trying to stop World War III, dog. Why are you trying to, like, I get it, but you can't. That should have been the easiest thing you could have. Hey, I got the list. Because this man has been found guilty and incarcerated over this list and killed himself in prison over this list. This should have been very easy to get a hold of as the president of the United States. So I'm like, who really on that list?
What you trying to
really
hide?
On that list? Like, now I'm starting to, I never believed the Illuminati. I'm starting to believe in that. Because if you got this president of the United States, the leader of the free world telling you, don't ask me about that no more. After he said, ask me all about it. Matter of fact, he was volunteering. Nobody even asked him about it. He just came out and said, this is what I'm doing.
He's like, look, come here. This exactly. It's like, yo, everything's going to get exposed. It's like, so what's going on? Hey, you shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up now.
Bro took a private jet from another country. Very beautiful jet. Very beautiful jet. And it's like, oh, okay. Like, that President Trump, that feels like a bribe. Nah, that ain't no bribe. That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing, dog. Like, okay, well, it looks kind of like a bribe. You shouldn't be taking gifts from other countries, but the jet is so beautiful, and it's so large. It's the largest jet I've ever seen in my whole life.
It is so beautiful. It is so large. It feels like a bribe, but it's not a bribe. That's fake news.
It's like, oh, okay, this is what we doing. Okay, and then people's like, oh no, Trump's not doing a bad job. Oh, this big beautiful bill is going to take all these people off of Medicaid. Then take a lot of people off of food stamps. Then people like, oh yeah, nobody needs to be on food stamps. Oh, okay. When that food stamp person come up on you at Whole Foods with that weapon drawn, with the mask on, Mac drawn. you gonna you gonna be EBTing it up. You gonna change your name to EBT. Matter of fact, you ain't gotta rob me. Sir, I'll buy you whatever you need at Whole Foods. I'll empty my bank account. Don't take my life. Okay. All right. Y'all keep playing with poor
yeah,
people.
your EBT 11 bullets taken.
Yo. Because that's what's gonna happen. I'm telling you, I'm somebody who grew up poor. Where people grew up poor, where people who had food stamps, where people who are no longer on food. Some people just need it temporary. There's some people who manipulate the system to stay on it. Whatever. That's for the people who present that to figure out. Not just putting everybody, just taking everybody off of certain things just because. And then the only thing it's doing is lining billionaires' pockets when it's the consumers that make the billionaires the billionaires. If nobody can buy anything, the billionaires have nothing to sell. It's this beautiful circle. That's what it should be. But they're still talking about this trickle down of economics that they've been trying for 50 years and hasn't worked. The only thing it's done is increase the wealth gap.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, I had a conversation with somebody. They were like, "Man, you know, all employees do is just take from the entrepreneurs. We're the one who take the risk." No, you're not. No, you're not. Why am I saying that? I'm not saying that it's not risky to run a business. I've been there. What I'm saying is, you pay the employees because you can't be at 50 places at once. So you exchange your dollars for their time.
Mm-hmm.
That's the beauty of it. It's an exchange. In some jobs you got to pay more because of the work they do than some other jobs. But if you were as an entrepreneur were trying to run a McDonald's by yourself, okay. Like, try that. Go ahead. Just get everybody day off and you just do it by yourself. Then you'd have more appreciation for why you pay people. This is coming from somebody who said since he was 14 years old he's gonna be a billionaire. I ain't nowhere close to it. Maybe because I'm not as cutthroat as I probably should be to get to that level. But I know a lot of people who are multimillionaires who don't have to compromise themselves to make a lot of money. And so it's just like, no, like this, oh, yeah, let's just give everybody tax cuts, billionaires get richer. And oh yeah, that same tax cut is gonna actually increase taxes for the middle class and the poor. And it's like, oh, okay. But you're our champion though. You had grown men twerking for Trump like these females did for Diddy when he got out. Ciroc vodka and Trump Towers can't possibly be that good. Celebrity Apprentice was not that good of a show for y'all to ride for something like this. And I'm not saying like whether he's doing a good job or bad job. I'm saying to have zero criticism of him, like he's done no wrong. We got to be able to tell the truth about people, whether you like them or not. You got to be able to tell the truth about people. And the truth is, he ain't want no parts of that Epstein list after Elon Musk said he was on it. By the way, he hit him with a just straight bullet drive by. Yeah, he on the list. Pow, ran off.
But kept the gun.
So it's just funny how that happened, and then it's on video and he's caught in 4K. saying this. And so it's just like, as somebody who supported Trump, do you not? At what point are you starting to feel like you've been lied to? Oh well, Biden lied to people. We not he ain't the president no more. Nobody gives a f.
Like he ain't the
Donald Trump
president,
is the one who's been president now twice.
and Joe Biden's fighting for his life, so we're not even worried. We ain't even talking about that.
Joe Biden. A lot of us thought Joe Biden was dead 60 days into 60 days into him being elected.
It's like, why is his wife always? It's like, why is his wife always at the podium?
It's like, bro, like you can't even you can't put a sentence together.
Yeah.
This is just that people in power need power to be relevant. Joe Biden needed the presidency to be relevant. So he didn't want to give that up. And this was his only chance he was going to get it. And he didn't want to get that up. And then he had to get that up. And now he's fighting for his life because he didn't want to give it up. And politically speaking, Democrats ain't got nobody to vote that you would want to vote for. Republicans, I don't know what the plan is over there when Trump's thing is over, because conservatives versus Trump conservative um, Trump conservatives versus traditional conservatives are very different. So it's like now that you've gone to this extreme, how do you come back from that? Like people are gonna expect a Trump Jr. to come through, in my opinion. So I don't know. Anything else you want to add to that?
Nah.
All right, I want to play a game and then we'll wrap this thing up. So I'm gonna give a list of players. It's gonna be five players in the NFL. Somebody from our generation, somebody from the new generation. And you tell me who's better or who would you rather have or however you want to take
All right.
it. This spawned from some posts I was seeing that Cam Newton was better than Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts only has been to multiple Super Bowls because he has an all-star team around.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to start with them. Cam Newton, Jalen Hurts. You already know who I'm going with. I already said he's one of my 5 favorite quarterbacks of all time. Who do you got?
I got Cam.
Why is Hurts not more respected? Why is him not winning a Super Bowl in the Super Bowl he lost, he had one of the most incredible Super Bowl games as an individual I've ever seen. Why does he not get more credit? Is it because he has a superstar team around him? If that's the case, then why does LeBron get so much credit?
You know what? I don't know. Uh, yeah, I don't know. That's a great question. It's like maybe it's like, he does have a great team around him. One of the best offensive lines.
The best according to PFF.
Um yeah, I shoot the best running back.
Yeah, last season he was definitely the best running back. You know what I think it is
Hmm.
this season, this past season specifically. Even though he had a really good Super Bowl, I shouldn't say that. It was fine. It was because you take away the 70-yard bomb he had, his stats are pretty mediocre.
Hmm.
But I think it's because he was not an MVP candidate. Like nobody thought about him being the best player on the team because Saquon was the MVP candidate.
Yeah.
So then it's like, okay, how good are you when you're running back? In a quarterback league, your running back is the best player on your team. And not only that, Cam was the MVP when he went to the Super Bowl. 15-1. Nobody was talking about Ron Rivera getting fired. 5 games into the season.
Yeah.
All right. Michael Vick or Lamar Jackson?
Lamar.
Why do people go with Vick? I think it's Madden 04.
Yeah, I was just about to say Madden 04.
Because I'm like, Vick wasn't
Well,
accurate with the football. Vick is smaller. Don't get me wrong, he has some electrifying plays.
yeah.
So does Lamar. Lamar got the joint where he spun between two people and two people tackled each other, just like Vick had to join against the Vikings. Like they both have similar highlights, and Lamar's a better passer and passer, and neither one of them had great talent at receiver for majority of their careers.
Who's Vic's best guy?
Algernon D. Crumpler, probably.
Did you really had you could have just said Algie. Nobody cares what his middle initial is.
I mean, Algernon D. Crumpler, Chuck Emeka Okafor.
We both pick Lamar, right? All right, let's move on to the next
All right.
one.
Jerome Bettis versus Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry.
Really?
Yes.
Man, the bus though. I'm playing.
Yeah,
I'm
the
going
bus
Derrick Henry.
versus the Mack truck. I'm going with the Mack
I'm,
truck
I'm,
all the
I'm,
time.
I'm going Derrick Henry too. I love the bus, but I picked guys who were similar style of running and stuff like that. But I don't know. I'm like,
What's it called? What's it called?
Jerome Bettis just seemed fat though.
But he was so fucking nimble though.
Yeah, I'm just like, why was he so good?
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe I'm tripping. I'm like, I'm pretty sure Jerome Bettis had a gut cooking niggas.
Yeah, that dude was agile as hell.
I think they said he beat Marshall Faulk in a race. I want to say there's a rumor saying that he beat Marshall Faulk in a foot race by like 3-4 steps. I find that hard to believe, but I heard that. If Marshall Faulk and Jerome Bettis ever see this in the clip, see this podcast, let me know. Let me know if that's true. DM me. Yeah, no, Derrick Henry's a machine, man. King Henry's a machine. The main reason why I'm going with Derrick Henry is because Jerome Bettis got a record where he had the most carries. He had. I forget what the record is, but I think it was he had the lowest yards per carry in a game in which he's in that game he scored 3 touchdowns. He had 5 carries for 1 yard and 3 touchdowns. Like that shouldn't even be possible. But that's why I gotta give it to Derrick Henry. That ain't, and then also Derrick Henry could take off on you. Derrick Henry could take off on you. So I ain't never seen Jerome Bettis do that. So, all right, we're gonna go to some people who never lived up. Now, one is still playing, but never lived up to the hype. Vernon Davis or Kyle Pitts?
Vernon Davis.
Yeah, yeah, because neither one of them had good quarterbacks. And then Vernon Davis had Mike Singletary have a whole speech about him.
And then he balled out right after that.
Yeah, and he played. Maybe that's what Kyle Pitts is.
Or he need to get traded.
I think they said he's like one of the worst tight ends at getting open in the NFL. But and so they're like, well, but then somebody was showing highlights saying like they miss him when he's wide open. But maybe they're just not expecting him to be open because he doesn't get open. So it's like, why am I even looking that way? All right, I'm with you, Vernon Davis. Last one out of left field. Tua or Chad Pennington? No, he got to think. Zero got. I got that boy thinking.
No, you don't have me thinking.
He got that boy
No, you
thinking.
said I was out of left field. Like, what the fuck?
It's out of left field because both smaller quarterbacks, not known for arm strength, not known for their ability to run,
Not
both
known for
had
staying healthy.
severe injury issues. One with the head, one with the shoulder.
I'm gonna
Very
go.
similar.
I'm gonna go with Chad Pennington because he knew how to slide.
Yo, that's insane.
No, I'll go with Chad because what's it called? Because when you think about Tua, the weapons that he has around him makes things a whole lot easier for him.
Yeah, because as a Jets fan, we ain't never had receivers like what, like
That's
never
it.
in history. The best receiving core I can think of that we had was when it was Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker, and that ain't what they got.
Yeah, dang. Yeah, how you sleep on? I'm just playing. I was gonna say how you sleep on Santana Moss like that.
Santana Moss is on the Jets.
He got drafted by the Jets. Oh my
I don't even remember that. I remember him being on Washington.
he got drafted by the
I remember
Jets.
Lavernius Coles.
I think Lavernius Coles and Santana Moss were on the same team.
Hmm.
Wow. Yeah, I think got drafted like 16th overall to the
I don't remember
Jets.
that at all.
Yo, my God. Hold on. Let me make sure that I got the let me make sure I got the what's it called? The draft positioning right. Santana Moss. All right. Let's move because I believe he was a first round pick.
Yeah, he was
Santana.
16th overall. 01 to oh
I'm
04.
nice.
I only remember
Because
him
I
on
took a shot at
Washington. And I was definitely a Jets fan around that time.
yes, and Mr.
He's,
Santana Moss. What was it? His
his
best
best year with
year,
us was 74 catches for 11.05.
and 10 touchdowns,
Yeah,
10 tutties.
I don't remember him at all.
He spent most of his career in Washington,
Yeah, I remember him in
but
Washington. I don't
was
remember him in New York.
yeah But I know he had got drafted by the Jets. I knew about him getting drafted by the Jets. Yeah, you said it was what year? Oh, that was the year. That was the year before. No, that was the year after the Jets drafted 4 players in the first round.
Yeah, him and Lavernius Coles played together on 01 and 02. Yeah, I don't remember that at all.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, but I'll pick Pennington. And it's funny that they both play for Miami too.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It was
That's
like
true.
Pennington was yeah, Pennington, he had the shoulder issues, but he was also comeback player of the year, I think twice.
Yeah, the only thing Tua comes back from is the concussion time.
Nigga always going into that tent.
Yeah,
That dude be a pregame warm-ups and going to the tent. It was like he didn't get a
bro,
hit.
bro, don't
He said, yo,
understand to keep his head out of danger.
yo, that
Even like
nigga.
after he came back from that long layoff, like he took a big hit to the head. I'm like, oh, you just don't learn, do you?
Yeah, that dude before a kick, no, yeah, before when they doing the pregame warm ups, he going to the tent. It's like, yo, is this something wrong? He's like, no, I just want to get familiar with my surroundings before I fuck up today. He's like, get familiar. Watch what happens in the second quarter. The
Yeah, I'm not
second
buying
quarter,
none
my
of it.
time to shine.
Yeah, and then also I can't think of a game where I'm like I was. Well, Tua had a game where he dropped 70.
Mm-hmm.
Chad Pennington had a game where he dropped 41 in the playoffs against Peyton Manning, 41 nothing. I'll never forget
Mm-hmm.
that game. I loved it. I loved every second of it.
Mm-hmm.
Last time I remember loving every second of a Jets game. No, I'm lying. When we went up against Andrew Luck, his rookie year, I think. I loved every second of that game too. That's the last time I remember. Um, who else? And but Chad Pennington, I feel like Chad Pennington had more success. I feel like he has. Um, I don't think he never ever got deep into the playoffs, but I don't. Is Tua won a playoff game? Maybe one.
I don't think he has.
Okay, yeah, because they don't win in the wintertime. That's right.
Yeah.
After November 15th, they stop winning games. They stop winning road games. I should say. They probably get one at home. I'm exaggerating that, Dolphins fans. Stop crying. Before they start
Stop being some hoes.
before they started hitting us up on the DMs talking about some. Oh, we won on December 4th. Like, shut up. On the road, it's against Tampa. Relax. You
Wait, they
don't
couldn't
win
play
outside the
Tampa.
state of Florida, huh?
You said that was against. Oh no,
I'm
never
just
mind.
making that
Never
up.
mind.
I'm
I'm
just
thinking.
making
I'm thinking playoffs. That's what I was thinking about. Yeah, they've only played. He's only been to the playoffs once, and they lost.
F the
Yeah,
Dolphins.
yeah.
Anyways, let's wrap this up.
All right. So my parting shot is Busby isn't starting the Shannon case too well.
Oh, that is going on?
It was supposed to have started on the 9th, but Jane Doe didn't show up. They postponed
Oh
it.
no. Oh shit.
Yeah,
Why would she not show up?
that's a great question.
Why didn't you tell me that before? That should have been a topic.
Now I didn't know until just now.
Why'd you look him up?
When you had said something about
Oh,
Epstein.
he's vanished since. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, so what was it? While I was looking the stuff up, I was like, let me go look up how Shannon is doing. And then it said it like July 9th, his that the they postponed the first hearing because Jane Doe was absent. So they agreed to postpone the first hearing. I was like, yeah, that already looks like a bad look for you because you looking for justice. Now you should have been there before the judge.
Bruh.
You should have been waiting in the parking lot. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm curious about this. I know Shannon said he was going to be back on ESPN during the NFL preseason. So That's probably around the time where the case may end. So I believe, yeah. So let's just see what happens with that.
All right. Um, my parting shot is I don't know. I really don't got one. I mean, I was gonna make somebody a parting shot, but I'm like, I don't feel like talking about him because he's weirdo. Oh, okay. I got it. My parting shot is I got the biggest air fryer known to man right now. And I was gonna make some food in it. And then I was like, I don't know what the heck I'm gonna make of this. I bought it for a reason, and it was some recipes. And a lot of them were calling for air fryers. Then I looked for the recipes, and all of them was like, "Oh, you can also do this in the oven." So
By the way, the oven's available. You don't have an air fryer. It should have been the other way around. It's like, if
yeah,
you
everything kept saying, "Oh, use the air fryer," and then it also gave oven instructions.
it's like, just give me the oven instructions and say, no, air fryer should be by the way,
So
because you'll always have an oven in your house. You ain't always gonna have an air fryer in your house.
yeah, I purchased the air fryer for $160. So my partner shot is do your research.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna make these great air fryer recipes. I've been seeing all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, I never needed to get you. Never need. I could be $160 richer right now. But no, 169.95 after taxes. So
Man, I'll put that shit on offer up for retail price.
no, I'm keeping it.
All right, cool, cool,
Because
cool.
I mean, I could still use it. It was just
Just not
like
for what you intended for
I was
anymore.
just sitting there thinking because we had an air fryer and it broke, and
Mm,
I'm gonna still use it for like making certain foods. But I'm like, I need to plan the food. I should have did that before the air fryer came instead. Because the recipe I was making, I was like looking at it, it was a video, and I was like, oh, I thought they air fried the chicken and they made it in a pan. So I'm like,
mm.
so what the heck did I see that was air fried? And so I ended up finding a recipe, but it was a sandwich. I'm like, I'm not eating sandwiches all week. So, um, so yeah, do
Yeah,
your
you
research.
you ain't gonna hold the cheese though.
Oh, definitely not holy. Cheese is mandatory on any sandwich I eat. Mandatory. If it don't have cheese, throw it in the garbage. Don't hand me a hamburger, hand me a cheeseburger. Don't hand me a turkey sandwich with just tomatoes. Guaranteed.
Put on cheese guaranteed. Let me reiterate.
So yeah, do your research on it. Don't buy stuff just because it looks cool. Do some research on it. That's my part of the shot. And that's our show. So this has been the Between Brothers podcast, where the talk is always real and the laughs always come free. Thank you so much for joining us. We love y'all. We'll see you next week.